Most of us don't set out to become an activist in our own lives, or to call out our differences. In fact, we're taught from an early age to do anything but differentiate ourselves. Be a good boy, don't rock the boat, there's strength in numbers. We've heard them all, and we're sure you probably have too. Except that sometimes we stand at pivotal moments in our own lives and the lives of others. We can do nothing, make sure we still fit in, and not make metaphorical waves. It's easier sometimes to stay silent. But then we must watch as wrongs continue. Families are torn apart by dysfunction, corporate leaders make unethical choices, someone we know is struggling, or there are homeless people in our communities desperate for something to eat or a place to sleep. We can stay silent, or we can stretch outside our comfort zone to stand with those who need us. If there is a chapter in this book that speaks most profoundly to the personal experience of both of us, it is probably this one. In our lives, we have had to make tough choices that required us to challenge ideas and stand up to intimidation. We've both experienced profound dread and anxiety and cataclysmic personal catastrophes. We know what it feels like to be threatened and to be frightened of an unknown future. But we also know that when you are willing to take a stand, when a stand needs to be taken, you are showing yourself and the world that you have the courage to take control of your life and take it to another level, to strive for what is better and what is right. It's not easy. Courage is a risky business. But all of us have inside us principles and beliefs that define who we are and what we stand for. Our values make us different from everyone else. When we compromise these basic ideals, we are not really living, and often the result is much confusion and unhappiness. Or worse, we watch our dreams and aspirations fade away or get stomped on by someone else. In this chapter, we take a look at the lives of several people who we believe are especially brave for the way they have drawn a line in the sand and taken a firm stand for what they believe. It's not always easy, but it is always right. The Wounded Healer. Domestic violence turned into a mission to claim power against abusers. Ultimately, we know deeply that the other side of fear is a freedom. Marilyn Ferguson. Scared, alone, and feeling broken, Alexis A. Moore called her local domestic violence center. She was battered and beaten. The year was 2004. She was 30 years old and had spent the previous 6 years on a relentless roller coaster of emotional and physical abuse. But it was the fear that froze her and prevented her from taking action that scared her most. When she finally sought help, it became clear why she was so afraid and why it took her so long to find the strength to leave. The intensity of her ex-boyfriend's rage was terrifying. He embarked on a campaign of what is known today as cyberstalking, using technology to harass, terrify, and control Alexis on a daily basis. He did not stop there. Here, Alexis bravely shares the story of how she found the courage to fight for and claim her freedom. In the process, she finally found something to hope for. And the good news is, she turned her own pain and very frightening experience into a learning experience to help other victims of abuse and crimes, from identity theft and elder abuse to rape and sexual assault. Alexis Moore was living in El Dorado Hills, California, and dating a high-tech investigator, information broker. At first, things seemed fine. But soon, his controlling behavior and emotional insults, which evidently in his mind were not enough to obtain the power and control he coveted, escalated into physical threats and actual physical violence. In November 2004, a brutal beating left Alexis with permanent nerve damage and the determination